What's up, you guys? Wildhorn Outfitters here today. We are with instructor Zom, and we're talking about backcountry skiing.
So the main difference between backcountry skiing and resort skiing is fully safe and staffed by ski patrol. They make sure there's no avalanches, they take care of the safety of terrain. Once you go backcountry, you leave all that safety behind. So the most important thing to have is knowledge. You need to make sure you have your education and safety for when you go in the backcountry. Because when you're back there, it's all on you and your buddy to keep you safe.
Where can people go and get educated about backcountry skiing? Or could they come and find an instructor like you to kind of take them up there?
Yeah, absolutely. So in best case scenarios, you can always find your local ski resort or your local Avalanche committee. Here in Utah, we have the UAC. They have a lot of different programs. They have the Know Before You Go program. Just knowbeforeyougo.com. You're able to go there, look under, see different clinics and practices. There was even one last week here. They actually taught and went over the backcountry safety. And as far as touring, once you have the skill of like a black level rider, you can always find someone or a tour guide to actually get you into the backcountry.
Awesome. And I know a lot of people have that fear of avalanches and just the dangers and risk of backcountry skiing. What are some essential tips that you can give, the community about being properly safe to when they go backcountry skiing?
Yeah, I think it is wise to have a little bit of fear with the backcountry because that will keep you safe. What they call in the backcountry red flags. If there's been an avalanche in the area, if the weather's been changing a lot, if it doesn't look safe, don't go. It's always better to make your mind to not go that time so you can go another day. Choosing to go into the backcountry, picking your lines and being with someone with proper education and a buddy, that's how you go and have a good time and you get to go again.
Awesome. And now I see you brought a backpack with some essentials. Do you want to dive into that?
Absolutely. After knowledge, the most important piece of equipment to have is a beacon. Your beacon, as long as your buddy has a beacon as well, is how you're going to find each other. If you're in an avalanche and you're buried, the beacon is sending a signal for your buddy's beacon to pick up and find you. A beacon is also how you use to find his beacon if he was trapped in an avalanche. So a beacon must always be on you and you must learn how to use it properly. Brighton Resort and a lot of other places have beacon practice areas for you to practice and train with your beacon. I'm not going to say one beacon's better than another. The beacon that you have is the one you should practice, and that'll be the best beacon for you. Next, we have a probe. Once you have a beacon and you have a signal and you've found the person, you need to find where they are in the snow. A good probe is the probe you practice with. Here's mine. See how deep the snowpack is? Next, a shovel. Now, everything we've told you right now is in case of an avalanche. But another big thing about backcountry is education. When you're in the backcountry, you dig pits. You learn how the snow conditions are. I use my shovel, I use my probe, and I also use a snow saw. These right here help me dig pits to find out if the conditions are safe. Once you're in the backcountry and you've dug your pit, if the conditions aren't looking too safe, time to head back to the resort. It's always good to make another day. After you have the knowledge, another thing that you can do in the backcountry is a quick snow test. We're getting ready to do a line over here. We're going to look at which aspect and where the slope is facing. It's facing at this angle. So we're going to find a safer area right here with the same angle, facing the same way. I'm going to dig a snow pit here, do a little bit of my own mini avalanche test to see if our terrain is going to be safe. I'm expecting right now this is going to be pretty safe, but if I was to get any negative results or anything that didn't look safe, we would definitely change our plans to either a new slope or maybe ride the resort today. Now this is where we get a little bit nerd with it, but this is where I actually have a little bit more fun. Now I have a pit here. This isn't as large as I would normally dig or as detailed. I'm just giving you a quick glance. I have this pit right here. I'm gonna measure off a column. I'm gonna go about 30 centimeters of a column. Okay. Use my snow saw. Okay. Before I cut this, I'm gonna check a few things. I'm gonna see what degree of a slope we're dealing with. Looking about a 34 degree. Right outside that safe towards a little more hazard, not bad. I'm able to look right here, kind of check out the snow crystals. Can actually go in here, grab my magnifying glass, try to figure out exactly what these snow crystals are doing. Go from there, figure out. We talked about the degree of the slope. Now let's talk about which way the slope is facing. Let's find north. North is that way. Well, you're at about 200 degrees, so pretty much a pure south-facing slope, which in Utah during the winter is some of the sunniest, most prettiest slopes you can have. So, have my snow saw, got this column cut here. This is one of the easier tests you can do. It's a compression test. I'm going to slowly put pressure on my shovel. Start by patting it, hitting it, bumping it, slamming it. Every time I touch it, I'm going to count. Kind of give me an idea of how safe the terrain is. Okay. So even though I haven't seen anything break, we are seeing some of the slough, meaning the newer snow, kind of fall off there, but nothing too crazy. All right. Yeah, if we're gonna get this to Avalanche, it's gonna take a lot of pressure. There we go. So, and when it broke, it only broke at the pressure point that I pushed it at. That top layer was kind of shaky. Definitely not the safest of days, but I wouldn't have a lot of worry. That sun, it's not going to get safer as the day goes on. So as of right now, I'd say if we were to go, we'd probably head out right now, go finish that hike. Last but not least, before I finish my snow test here, cover this back up. Take all the snow I just threw out, fill it all back in. That way the snowpack builds safely.